Hi. I don't know why I do that. That is almost like a weird little thing that the minute that this goes live, I have to like scratch the back of my head. Not even sure why. I think it's just like a nervous tick or something. Kind of like, you know, I don't know. Anyway, I have been seriously thinking about everything that I learned in the classes and whatever that we were at in San Antonio. And a couple of things really, really stood out to me during those classes. And two main things. One is less is more. Less is more. Almost like you don't need to use very much makeup at all. At all. And some colors you can just eliminate completely. And the other is that the whole play on light and dark. That has really, I've been just all week thinking about those classes that I was in. And it actually made me come home and dig out my original color match that I got over a year ago and go back to the basics. Because as a Saint artist, I have seen so many artists, beautiful, beautiful women, show me different ways to do things, different hacks on lifting this, you know, brightening this, downplaying that, all kinds of different ideas. And it can get to be a lot. And I'm going to tell you, not every hack works for every person or every person's skin tone or skin shape. Like, I've got mature skin, and that's what made me go back to my original color match. Now, I know the color match is so, so important, and we don't just put it through some sort of a program or whatever. We actually take our own eyes and look at your selfie, and we match the darkest colors or tones in your skin and the lightest and whatever's in between. And we try to come up with something that is going to be perfect for you. Now, the trick to that, especially with mature skin, like I have, is that you got to match the darkest colors. And if you go too light on mature skin that has darker melasma or age spots or whatever, it's going to look muddy. It's not going to lay right, and you're going to hate it. You're going to hate it. It's just like, you know, the whole light dark shadows thing. Wrinkles like this, what you're seeing is a shadow. When I go like that, you're seeing the shadow. You're not just seeing the skin. So if I go and put a whole bunch of light makeup right there, it's going to enhance the shadow. So we don't want to put a whole bunch of light makeup right there or under here or whatever. So anyway, that's what I've been thinking about. That's why I wanted to come on live. Hi, Sherry. That's why I wanted to come on live, because this is like so like mind-blowing to me. Less is more, and I'm going back to the basics, and I'm going to show you exactly how I do mine from my original color match. And she was so good. She sent me this little thing, and it doesn't even show brightening highlights. It just shows me where I need to color correct. And so that's what I'm going to do. And although it seems counterintuitive or whatever the word is, I'm going to use the colors that I was originally matched with. And I love it. Because, you know, I've been trying all these different hacks and putting stuff on in different ways, and it doesn't look as good as when I first started. And so we're just going to do that. I'm going to go back to the basics. And now I'm going to point out some stuff on my skin. And I don't know with these lights if you can actually see what I see when I look in the mirror. But I've got dark circles right here. I've got red spots. I've got a red spot right there. I've got like this little patch. I've got different little things going on. different little stuff going on everywhere, okay? So if you'll notice the dark, and then there's light right there. I'm not going to go in and try to mask this dark. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take my darkest shade that I've been matched to for these darker spots on my face, and that is Papaya, okay? I'm going to just go in really lightly, tap, 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 and I'm going to cover the light part, not the dark part. I'm going to just tap that in, and you'll be able to see once this is done, just tapping on those dark spots. I'm not covering the bag right there. I am covering the light, okay? And you can already see how that has helped. I'm not trying to mask that bag. I'm covering the light part. And barely tapping and putting this, and this is the darkest color that I can use. So I'm gonna just lightly tap that under my eyes. And you can already see how it has sort of evened out those bags. I'm not covering the dark circles. I'm actually darkening the lightest part under my eyes, which works. And right here, I'm gonna just kind of tap that a little bit because I've got like some dimply things going on there. And then anywhere else that you have like some, like right here on the sides of your nose, wherever you have darker spots, melasma, whatever. Plus it helps to enhance your contour. And right there, we're playing shadows is what we're doing. And when you actually put the darker color on, it minimizes the light parts. So this is like so mind-blowing to me, because you know, most people think that you just want to like brighten that up. No, you want to blend it. So, and then anywhere else that you have like redness or darker spots on your skin, and this is such a light amount, and I'll show you, it's such a light amount. I'm just barely dabbing it on into some of the darker areas of my skin, because I do have melasma and I do have some redness, and I've got some little age spots going on. This right here is under the skin. It's a cyst that, unless I want a big scar right there, nothing they can do about it. And it shouldn't get any worse. But so I just gotta live with it. It's not really noticeable unless I point it out. So now everybody notice. But watch this red spot right here when I put the right color on it. Now, if I were to go in there with a brightening shade, it would just make it look muddy and odd. So look, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna put my darker shade there, and it's basically gone. You can't even see it. I mean, this is just like mind-blowing, like I said. So I'm just kind of tapping this on a little bit everywhere, because I'm matching the darkest colors on my skin, okay? Matching the darkest. And you can always go back in if you need more. And then I'm going to take my, this is the blend brush, and it's just going to move all of that around. I mean, just to, you know, really, really thin layer all over. And the other thing this is going to do, it's going to make my main shade that matches my skin tone completely, which is mango, it's going to make that last longer through the day. It's going to give me more longevity because I'm covering up the dark spots. Or I'm not covering up, well, kind of, but I'm matching the darkest part of my skin. And so when I put the lighter color on, it's going to give my entire look more longevity through the day. All right, and like I'm saying, I'm just pushing that around to cover everything. And nothing. I mean, you can't feel it. You can't tell that it's on there. It's just color. This is color correcting 101, okay? You go with your darkest shade and then take a look, if there's some spots that actually need a little bit more. This I can't do a ton with, and that's just me, but I can try. All right, and then because wherever there's darkness or redness, I want to color correct. And so I'm going to just dot that again. Like I said, I can actually even put some on this scar right there because we're playing light and dark, right? I'm going to, just to even those out, I'm going to put that right there. And I don't know, where's my brush? Okay. If you can already see, I did not try to lighten under my eyes, but you can already see the less bag just by covering the lightest part, not the darkest part. And that was like my biggest takeaway from the classes at the conference, was that you don't want to put a light there. And I'll just show you. I'm just going to show you as we're going. We match with the darkest colors. And it really made me think. I was like, man, I was doing that to begin with. And why did I move away from that? And like I said, being an artist, you try all the different tricks and things that you see other people doing. And I was doing that. And some of them I liked, some of them I didn't, some of them I stayed with. And then I started thinking, I'm not loving this as much as I used to. I mean, it's not doing what it used to. And you know why? Because my application changed. And so going back to the basics. All right, so I put that on. I'm also going to just tap that a little bit. I mean, you can't feel it, but such a small amount. Very, very light. Very, very light. But it did even out a lot of those darker tones, which is what you want to do. Because like I said, if you put a light color over those dark spots, it's just going to look muddy. It's going to look dull. And it's going to look odd. All right. So then I'm going to go with my main shade. Hold on, I got to make sure I'm doing it right. Yeah. The main shade will stay on. You'll have more longevity with your main shade if you are matching your darkest shades first, okay? And so I'm going to go in with Mango and just pretty much go over all of that and the sides of my nose. I was doing it where I was doing my contour first because it kind of gave me like a roadmap to where I should put everything else. But that isn't how I started out doing this. Hi, Kelly. It wasn't how I started out. And, you know, I've gotten so many different ideas and techniques. And for every person that wears Saint, there is a different way to apply it. And so, not everything works for every person, and not everything works for every skin tone or age of skin. So what I am doing is I am just going back to the basics. And how, when I was originally color matched, this is how she told me to do it. And it actually works. It looks way better on me than all of the little hacks and things that I've been trying. So this is my main shade. I'm just going over where I color corrected everything. It's just one really, really light, thin layer. I'm going to pick up my other mirror here. All right. You know, and you would think that papaya is too dark for a lot of skin, but it's really not. Because if you have skin like me, I don't have really light skin, but I've got a lot of melasma and some sun stuff, and all right. Anyway, it just makes it easier, and it turns out so much better. And you still have the really thin one layer, basically, of your makeup. All right. So then, once I get that on, I'm going to take another look and see where maybe I have a little bit that I could correct a little better. Like I said, so frustrating. I really can't do anything with that. But I am going to go right here, and I'm going to put some darker. I'm going to put some more papaya right there. Because if I try to cover that dark circle, it's just going to look worse, because what I want to cover is the light, because that's what's making the dark show up. So that's why I'm going in with the darker color. I don't know if you can see that. It's hard for me to tell on a phone, but I know when I look in the mirror, it looks 1,000% better. I have a dark spot right there, but you know, I'm not trying to completely mask my whole face, you know. I still want to look like a human with real skin. Okay, so I've pretty much got all of my main shade, my color correcting shade, and I think that if you've got mature skin or any kind of melasma or sun damage or anything like that, you need to color correct, which I think is underplayed in a lot of when you see a lot of the younger artists. Okay, so still can't really feel it. If you need to, just go back again with the perfector. Just, you know, tap all that. Now I'm going to go in with my contour, just right above my natural shadow right there on my cheek. Just to give a little bit of a more definition to my natural structure of my face. I'm gonna come right here, kind of try to downplay those jowls a little bit. Oh my God. My best friend, one of my best friends, she died a couple of weeks ago, which was extremely sad. We've been friends since we were 17. I'm 56, so that's a long time. And her daughter sent me a picture today of, I'm wanting to think it was like at Thanksgiving dinner at my friend's parents' house. And it was when Mike and I were so young. I was like, oh my God. But my jaw was like sharp. My nose was sharp. I was like, good Lord, what happened to me? You know, oh, it's sad. It's sad to get old and droopy, flabby, whatever, flabby jowls. Stupid. It's not a good thing. But anyway, we're going to work with it, right? I mean, you got one face. Take care of it. And do what you can, I guess. All right. So that is my contour. And since I already have my other colors on, it blends super easy. Gotta go back into your hairline so there's no weird lines there. All right. This brings me to another thing where we are absolutely just playing with light and dark, right? It looks like I need a little more right there just to push that back. I'm gonna put some under here. All right, and then I'm gonna contour my nose a little bit, just a little bit right there, right there. And I don't have like a huge nose. I did break my nose when I was in 6th grade, so it's a little wider, but it's not horrible. But it kind of turns up a little bit and kind of pointy, so I'm gonna just darken the tip just a little bit. Okay. All right. So, and the way that I am doing this is almost kind of backwards from what you'll see a lot of people do. You know, they're all do everything all at once. That's not how I was taught to do this in the beginning, and I did get away from it. And like I said, I'm going back to the basics, and I actually really like this better. Not a lot of hacks other than the color correcting. And I'm already loving the fact that I don't look like I have ginormous black bags under my eyes anymore. And I didn't even do anything with it other than put dark where the light is. Okay. Anyway, I've said that enough. Sorry. I'm just like, after going to those classes in San Antonio, and that's what I came away with. It's like, no, you don't cover the dark, you cover the light, and then it diffuses the dark. So that's cool. Anyway, now that I have all that on, now I can go back in with my brightening. And that is just going to be like this. And right down my nose. Whoops. And not to put it completely under your nose. You just want it right at your Cupid's bow. And not completely in the middle of your chin. Just right in that dent right there. That's it. For the front of your face. I totally went sideways. And I'm not going to really put it in the corners. I'm just going to go right here. And I'm going to come all the way down. Under that bag. And over. Right here. Under that. And over. And like I said, we are not wanting wrinkles like this are basically just skin creating shadows. So instead of putting light on that, you don't want to put a lot of light on that because it's going to increase the depth of the shadow. So we're just going to leave it like this. Oh, I do want to put some on my eyelids though, just to even them out. Just a little bit. Very, very small amount. And I am pressing. Same with everything. I'm just gonna press. And then you can just kind of press, blend that in. I gotta get my mirror. But again, like I said, so many people do it different. And I'm just going with what I was originally told. Sorry, get the mirror out of the way. What I was originally told by somebody that I trust completely. I'm just gonna blend that out. And what works best? What looks best on you? I mean, I've tried every application. I've tried all the hacks. Well, probably not all of them because we'll get more every day, I'm sure. Pull my contour up. Back in here. Get that under my eyes. Okay. That looks funky to me right there. I don't know why. Probably just the, I'm gonna go back over this with my Perfector sponge. Now, I don't know if it's just me or if you can see how I didn't have to do anything. I didn't have to do anything for under my eyes other than darken that light spot right there. I could go back in and do a little bit more right there. Because that's what makes the bag stand out. All right, then I'm gonna take my blush and bronzer brush and grab up some Bella bronzer. And just kind of blend that all together. And always make sure, almost went into my contour. Don't do that. All right, I'll bring that down on my neck. So I'm just thinking, sometimes I have this ability to make things more complicated than they actually are. Hi, Cindy. I do tend to make things more complicated. And I'm like, I want the best deal, the best way to do all this and all that. But I mean, I don't know. I don't even have any eyeshadow. I don't have any cheek color on. I don't have any lip stuff on. I still think this looks great. And I am loving the way, I mean, people are like, how do you get rid of texture on your skin? You can't, because you have skin and it has texture. It's just the way it is. You just gotta work with it, you know? Skin has texture, and the older you get, the more texture you got. So live with it. All right. That is that. And if you guys are seeing what I'm trying to tell you, please comment. Please say, Cindy, you're full of shit, or Cindy, I see what you're saying, or whatever, because this is like a huge thing to me. I just was putting it all together. And I'm like, yeah, less is more. Cover the light, and the dark will disappear. Honestly, I mean, it's almost like science or something. I don't know. All right, so I'm going to put some cheek color on. I'm going to actually use a little mixture of Desert Sunset and Madrid. Mostly Desert Sunset on my lips. All right, Madrid on my cheeks. Get my little blush brush out. So if you have been falling into the trap of putting a whole bunch of your brightening shade right here, I don't think it's working for you as much as you think that it is. Because if you put a lot of light where there's shadow, it's going to increase the shadow. And I believe you don't have to just keep your blush right up here in the corner either. Frickin' put it where you can see it. Right here. Right here. You can even go a little over your nose if you want, just to kind of bring it all together. A little up here, whatever. I don't know. That's kind of what I was trying to say. And then, of course, we do need to have some illuminator. I'm going to use confetti because it goes good with Tropicana. I mean Madrid, sorry. Just put a little bit of that there. A little on the nose. Cupid's bow. I just think that for myself, watching all of a lot of them, granted, are a lot younger than me, and those techniques don't work for me. And it might work for you, but like I said, I went and dug out my original color match, and I'm just doing it the way she told me, and way happier. I'm like, oh, this is why I fell in love with Saint. This is why I fell in love with the makeup, because it works. But you do have to know how to put it on for your specific condition, you know, your skin tone, your age. I mean, if you, like I said, if you put a light color over dark, it is going to look really odd and really dull and muddy. So cover the dark. That's why when we do color matches, we will, especially on mature skin, we color match you to the darker tones, not the lightest, you know, and it actually just makes it look more vibrant in the long run. So anyway, that's all I wanted to say. I know that I kind of seemed like I was on a rant. I didn't mean to. It was just like, oh my God, this is what I love about this, you know? So yeah, stop putting the concealer right there and in the corners. Go dark. Go dark. And it will minimize those bags. I didn't have to do anything with that. Unless I'm just not seeing things right. I don't see them so much. But anyway, let me know what you think. And thanks for joining me. I'll talk to you later.